Hey, good morning, everyone. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday. June 16th is the date today. Prices of BTC currently at 9,050. You could see we have driven prices up all the way to close to about $9,400, and then now we're experiencing a bit of a pullback. Not a surprise there because I think on the 4 hour, you can see on the RSI, we've pretty much tapped out right here in the overbought territory. So I expect a bit of a pullback. If we actually look at this RSI, we can see maybe something like this in terms of a trend line holding price up, right? So you can see prices are now, or I'm sorry, the RSI is actually breaking that trend line right now. And I would say prices are going to pull back just a little bit. At the very least, they may come back to this $8,800, $8,900 area right here. At the very most, which I would be really surprised by, they might come back down to 82 to 8,300. I was expecting that we would go up here like this and pull back like that and then rip on through. But because that didn't happen, you can see we flagged right here, and I mentioned this to our community yesterday that 86, 8,700 was being flagged right here, and the 9,000 break is imminent. Okay, so if you were part of our Cryptosomniac community, I mentioned this as an update yesterday. Okay, you can see I wrote that BTC has been grinding into this resistance consistently. Looks like 9,000 is imminent, meaning it is only a matter of time till this area just breaks. Okay. And this is one reason why, if you have not joined our Cryptosomnia community, it's best that you do, because between my morning analysis and an update that I put up a few hours or even an hour after, it completely changes, guys. So what you're watching right now, by the time you watch it, maybe middle of the day or a few hours from now, the analysis may have shifted to something different. Because remember, all of this, guys, is all the people in the market participants. Okay, every single one of these candles represents a person, a bot, an algo, smart money, everyone playing into this market and trying to buy or sell. So it is not possible for my analysis to hold through if the market conditions shift. And this is why I always reserve my judgment to be constantly changing. Okay, I am not offended in any way if people criticize me and say that, well, you said this and this happened. Of course it happened, dummy, because I cannot control how markets move. If they move, I'll move with them. All right, and I inform my community accordingly. Okay, I stated right here, BTC is printing a 1 hour bull flag. I posted this yesterday at 9 p.m. Okay, the size of the pull is $200. The target then becomes 9,050 approximately. Okay, what do? We hit well above 9,050, but we hit it, right? Because this was the pull that I was talking about right here. Okay, this is the pull, this is the flag, and we broke up. I cannot help it if prices went beyond expectation and went towards 9,300, but they hit that target and they came down again, and it looks like they're coming down again. Okay, it is impossible for any trader to catch the top or the bottom. There's only a general idea of how you can catch the middle of the entire move. Okay, most traders will more often than not want to catch just 50 or 60% of the entire move, and that's all they really want. That's how you become a successful trader, not by chasing the tops or the bottoms. Okay, trade the middle 50% of the move, and I promise, I guarantee that your risk is further declined, and your reward is that much more, okay, without the unnecessary risk. All right, so with that being said, on the 4 hour chart, we can see that there's a touch right here, right there, and right there for this ascending trend line that you are seeing. Okay, and you can see that we pretty much hit that same trend line right here on this 9,400 touch, and now it looks like we're pulling back just a little bit. Okay, now with this pullback, I still do expect this $8,800 area to hold. Why? Because we flagged here before the break, right? So usually you typically flag right near resistance or a critical area where there's supply being met with a good demand. And when the demand overcomes the supply, prices push on up, okay? Not only that, this sideways choppiness right here, this was all 88 to 8900 resistance previously when we first hit it at the end of May, and then we got rejected really hard all the way down to 7.6K. And now we're climbing back up, right? So we're on our journey towards 9,600, 10,000, but within that, you'll always experience a stair-step-like movement, guys. It'll always be like this, okay? You may experience some pullbacks like this, and then prices keep on grinding up. But for the most part, in my opinion, the last 4 months have been nothing but a nice big bullish trajectory like this, all right? Though it's a little bit too parabolic for my taste, it is what it is. Bitcoin likes to move in a very sharp and straight up manner, and I have nothing against that. Listen, I'm going to trade however the markets give me opportunities. All right. With that being said, let's take a look at the RSI on the daily. All right. We have this RSI right here around 68 to 69 points. If we want to break out of this RSI to make sure that we don't print a bearish divergence like we did over here, remember we went all the way to 8,200 right here, high on the RSI, but then we went high on the price right there, but a lower high on the RSI. That's a bearish divergence. And then you can see the effect of that bearish divergence was these two big candles right here. If we don't want to cause something like that again, we need to break out of this area right here, okay? Probably around, let me see. Let me draw this out. So about 72 points or so. Okay, so if we break out of the 72 point area on the RSI, that means that we have decreased our possibility to create a bearish divergence, okay? Let's look at some other charts. Here's something that I was mocking up yesterday because I thought that we may be able to create a cup and handle, but you can see that the cup itself was created and the handle was very small. Okay, the handle actually did create it if you look very closely. It was this little thing right here. See, if you look closely, the handle is there, but the handle did not require that much movement. Typically handles are like this and they stretch down, maybe coming back down towards the 236 fib. But look, okay, if this was the high, the 236 fib was right around 8,400. BTC didn't even do that, okay? All it did was move sideways for a couple hours and then boom, it just ripped on through, all right? So this is a testament of the strength of the bulls right here. This flag right here is saying, no thank you, I'm not going to create this handle because I have far more demand on my side right now and I'm just going to drive prices up even more. And it did, right? It did not even want to create this cup and handle, and it went straight with a moonshot all the way to $9,400, okay? If you look on the daily chart, you can see a bit more visibility of how I'm going to delete these two things. I had just drawn these because this was what I was predicting. If you look on the daily chart, you can see that we're also coming up really close to the top of this this area right here, which is the larger like bull flag. I don't think this is really an rising expanding wedge. I think it's really more so like a parallel channel, maybe slightly expanding, but I would say this is definitely more so of a larger bull flag right here. So here's that pole right there, the flag right there, but you can see we haven't quite broken out of the bull flag, okay? But once we do, right, the target then becomes $3,000 higher from wherever it breaks out. So if it broke out from here, which is say 10,000, then our target becomes 13,000, okay? but we haven't quite done that. And I would say if we're going to stay within the confines of this flag, the next resistance is right around 96, 9800, right around this area right here. Okay, so if you were to choose to, basically if you bought support and you're trying to sell resistance, that might be the area. Again, not financial advice. I'm just saying that this might be, a potential top before a slight pullback down here and then a big, release to the top, right? So sometimes what happens with bull flags is that price moves up, moves to the side to the top of the bull flag, moves sideways again, creating another mini bull flag within the larger bull flag, and then just rips on through. Okay, so that's also a possibility. All right, over here you can see that the guppies right here, which is the moving averages, have all turned bullish when they're blue above the green, and they're all facing up. This is a sign of very strong bullish momentum, and you can see that prices are moving up very sharply. Even over here, this is something that I want to show you guys. Another reason why technicals work, whether you're trading or investing in this market, okay? Over here, right, you can see price was on a nice, tight incline move right there, okay? And then price met this previous resistance, the bottom of this channel, as you can see, right? It hit the channel once, it hit it twice, 3 times right there, and then 4th time it ripped on through right there, okay? And now you can see that the top of this channel right here is being used as support, okay? Right there. This is exactly why people need to understand technicals, guys. Not just because you want to trade in this market, but because you need to understand where you're buying into in terms of the value of the technicals. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about these numbers right here. These are just numbers. But what is the value of the technicals? If you didn't see these numbers, would you be able to draw this pattern the same way? Of course you would, right? Again, these candles are nothing but a representation of all the market participants, right? Smart money, crypto traders, bots, algos, retailers. Every one of them has a stake in each one of these candles. This is nothing but a footprint of exactly how people are trading. So it's important that you understand why technicals like this work and how they can give you an opportunity in terms of technicals to be able to buy at a better value, okay? Value is not the same thing as price, right? The value of the technicals might be really shitty, right? And the price might be at a really great point where you think it's really low, but then it just goes deeper because the technicals are already telling you that, hey, the technicals, are showing that this thing may have more downside. So you basically bought when things are already looking bad. But if price is really high, right, and the technicals look really great, it doesn't matter what you pay for it, okay? It's that the technicals are showing you that, hey, this is a really great, value in terms of technicals, so you have more potential upside, all right? Let's take a look at, let's see. I wanted to take a look at something else over here. This was my other chart that I had mocked up. So over here, this is where I was mentioning to our community in Bitcoin analysis on this chart right here that price was just grinding slowly in this region. Okay, you can see right there, right? This was that bull flag that I was talking about. Okay, I stated that if price just flags here, more than likely it'll break up. Okay, and you can see that price has essentially been doing that. It broke up. Now it's coming back down to test the same area that was broken as resistance. It'll come test it. See, this was resistance right here. Moved sideways, broke up, came back down. Now testing it as support, and then it might bounce back up higher and move higher. Okay, that's what I meant to say yesterday, and I told our community that. Okay, so if you did get out at 9,050, you may wait potentially for this area to come back in, test as support, and then move back up higher. All right. On the daily chart, there's really not a whole lot of resistance that you can see on this, but there is some other stuff that you can see on this chart right here. Okay, I have so many different charts. Okay, there we go. Here's the 3-day chart right here, right? So if we look on the 3-day chart, you can see that prices are now in that larger fifth wave. Okay, I would probably say that the third and the fourth wave have been completed. The fifth wave is probably just beginning right now. Okay, I mean, I guess you can make the argument that this is still the third wave, but I don't know. It's hard to say because volume has been so high in this third wave that you usually typically get the largest volume in the third wave. The fourth wave is really a come down phase, and then the fifth wave is pretty large, but it doesn't have as much of the same volume as the third wave typically does. But then again, BTC does act as a commodity, and technically in commodities, the fifth wave is usually the strongest and the most powerful. So it could be very possible that we do get, you know, a significant blow off the top, like all the way towards 16 or 17,000. I don't know if that's possible just yet, but it would be really interesting, you know, if that does happen, because I mean, I guess there's really not a whole lot of resistance left. There is this, you know, 9.6 thousand marker where prices got dropped over here in May, right? Multiple times. So 9,600 is a pretty decent resistance. And then beyond that, I don't see anything else in the way towards 11,600 or so. So a big $2,000 gap. Okay. So if we break 9,600, you know, the next big possibility is towards that 11.6 area. And you can also see this on this chart right here. Okay, here's the, wait a second, I think it's maybe over here. Here's the big sort of trading range that we were in last year. Right, we were between 11.7, 11.8, all the way down to that 6,000 area. That was really the big trading range that we were kind of moving in. Okay, and then finally we had this big breakdown, and now we're climbing back into that same area. So if we're breaking out of here, right, if we're just using this trading range at large, the next big top is really this 11.5 all the way to 11.8. Okay. That is the biggest resistance. Beyond that, I don't see anything else in the way till about 13 or 14,000. But again, we haven't quite broken 11.7 or so. So we'll have to see exactly how prices, you know, break up towards that level first. Okay. So this is something to keep in mind. You know, a couple of targets, right? So now you have a target in mind, 9.6. Okay. And then really just the 11.5 all the way to 11.8 target. All right. I want to check out a couple of other things. Here's something that I mocked up to my community yesterday. Okay, this is a 3-day chart. Wait a second. Well, actually, let me first talk about this. Okay, so here's LTC, right? Remember what I was telling you earlier about technicals. Okay, here's LTC. Trying to climb higher and higher into this area of resistance, which is pretty much the top of this channel, right? It's not really resistance, but more so that it's coming up very overextended to the upside, okay? You can see that if prices do sort of top off over here, you know, they will come down to the bottom of this channel right over here, okay? Anywhere between, if we drop straight down today, you know, 113 or 114 all the way up to 130 over the next couple days. So that is a potential area. If you want to wait for LTC, those are some of the markers that you may want to look for. All right. So what I was saying in terms of technicals earlier, right? The value of these technicals, because LTC is so overextended, it doesn't matter how low of a price you're paying, right? Prices went to a high of 144. They're now at 135, right? Obviously, this is lower than what we were paying. But do the technicals show it's a better value? Not really, right? Because you're already pretty close to the top of this channel. you might as well wait for the bottom of this channel, okay, to hit, because you can see over here, every time LTC has hit the bottom of this channel, it's gone up, you know, quite a bit. It hits the bottom again, then it goes up to the top of the channel. So I would not be surprised if the bottom of this channel gets hit again, and then it, you know, rolls on up further. Okay, so you understand now why technicals like this are important to understand, right? Again, go to the Cryptosomniac website, guys. Please come join our community. If you're part of, you know, random crypto Twitter and other crypto groups, and they don't explain you things, they just tell you to buy or sell, which is something that we definitely do not do in our community. And you truly want to learn because you realize that these are life skills that you can take forever. Not only just the crypto market. You know, you can trade these in equities and commodities and forex. It's all applicable. It's all applicable because this is all human psychology. Human psychology is always going to work in financial markets, guys. You just have to be able to understand it. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what I was going to show you is this right here. All right, let me pull up a 3-day chart. And let's go towards line. Okay, so here's something that I mocked up to my community yesterday. If we look at LTC BTC, which is basically a ratio of what LTC is valued in ratio to BTC US dollar value. Okay, so if LTC is $100, okay, and BTC is 10,000, right? That means LTC is 0.01 of BTC, correct? So what that tells us is it shows us a ratio in which LTC has been moving, okay? It moves in this critical support right here, in this critical support, and then it moves in this critical resistance right here, and this block, and this block. So what I did was I mapped out some resistance zones right here for LTC, and I mapped out some critical supports, okay? Why is this important? Every time LTC's ratio has been too high compared to BTC's US dollar value, so say for example, LTC is worth $2,000 and BTC is worth, I don't know, 10,000, right? That is a 0.2 ratio, not 0.02, 0.2, because 2,000 divided by 10,000, right, is 0.2, okay? So what that tells us is that LTC likes to stay within the confines of this range right here. Whatever value BTC has, LTC's US dollar value stays within this range. So you can see every time prices hit resistance right here for the ratio, it has come down significantly towards support. So what do you think is happening right now? Okay, price is coming up very close to that resistance. Okay, so in my opinion, what I'm going to be doing, and you may want to consider too, is when price comes anywhere close to this area, I'm going to sell all of my LTC. Okay, because eventually price is going to get torpedoed down to this area, and then price of LTC to US dollar will be significantly less valued. More than likely, because this has no impact on BTC. BTC could just keep on going up while LTC keeps on going down, okay? Why? Because LTC is going to try to even out what I stated earlier, that 2,000 to 10,000, that ratio is too much, okay? So that means that LTC might get torpedoed down to, I don't know, $100 or $150, whatever it needs to do to bring down LTC's price all the way down to this support. So when LTC reaches this ratio anywhere between 0.019 or 0.02, I'm going to sell. Okay, so this is really the chart that I'm looking at. Okay, so be very careful, folks, if you do see something like this happening in LTC and you get too greedy wanting to think that LTC is just going to go higher and higher. It is wise to always look back on the history of the chart and see what the previous support and resistance levels tell you, because the odds and probabilities are in your favor. to be able to sell wherever prices hit resistance in LTC, BTC, and to be able to buy when prices hit support. Okay. Now, ETH is a little bit more different. Okay, not too much different. What I mean by that is, here is Ethereum. Okay, here's why I think that the ceiling of LTC is not too high, but the ceiling of Ethereum is much higher. Okay, Ethereum is coming very close to support. All right, and what I'm going to say is that once price breaks out of this channel right here, I think it's going to just touch the support and sort of bounce out of this channel. I think once it does, I think Ethereum will have a very violent explosion to the upside. Okay, so say it breaks out, somewhere in the middle of July or something. From here to here, that is a 180% move. That's just Ethereum to BTC, right? From here, even higher, 250%, even higher, 370%. This was the all-time high, so I don't expect this to come out anytime soon. But I'm saying that Ethereum, in my opinion, has a far greater ceiling. Okay, so just something to keep in mind, guys. All right, so this is why I'm going to go big into Ethereum when prices start to show that it's breaking out of this channel right here, because I think the explosion out of it is going to be pretty great. Okay, and I expect ETH US dollar prices to go much, much higher. Again, this is not investment advice. This is just how I'm going to be trading it. So you do you. If you want to ask questions, come join the Cryptosomniac community. We do daily analysis like this every single day, and I provide my community multiple updates through the day. Okay. So to give you an idea of why else our community is valuable, you can see some of these reviews that I've put up before. You can see that people believe that our calls are unbelievably accurate. I appreciate that. I don't think they're that great, but I think they're better than most of crypto Twitter or most of the other paid groups. Because guys, we've been doing this for a while. We've been trading the equities and commodities markets for a while. So technicals is no different. Okay, you just have to have patience, understand human psychology, and be able to put on good trades in the market. And that's it. All right, you can see nice, easy 15% today. Quick scalps for 2%, and then held it longer for a nice 12% gain. Let me show you guys in the flesh, though. Okay, here is a setup that I put up May 29th. Okay, you can see that this chart right here shows that the price was at 500. I put this up as an analysis for our community, and I stated that if you're looking to buy this, again, not investment advice, if you're looking to buy this, the buy zone is between 490 and 510. The profit targets are 600, 650, and 840. Okay, so let's see exactly what happened. All right, let me pull up that CMT chart to show you guys. Okay, here is maybe it was this chart right here. Okay, here we go. Here's that CMT chart that I mentioned, right? We bought in right around here. Prices dipped, scared a lot of people, shook them away, and boom, prices exploded. Went to 590, came back down to about 480 again, and boom, they exploded again. Okay? Remember what I said, what the targets were? 600, 650, 840. Every single one of the targets hit except the 841. But it's not done yet. All right? So from here to the highest, even if you take the price currently, that's a 19% move from the 500 Satoshi buy. If we went to the highest point and somehow you got to sell, that's a 42% move. This I put up 529, May 29th, right? That's 17 days ago or 18 days ago. In 18 days, you were able to get either 20% at the very least, okay, at the lowest target. In the middle target, you got somewhere around 25, 27%. And if you got to this highest point right here and somehow you got to sell somewhere up here, that's a 42% gain, So you can see, guys, we've been doing this for a while. We know exactly what we're doing. you know, trades like this will really just set you up for the rest of the year. Your entire membership for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year will easily be paid for. Okay. But again, we don't provide buy signals or sell signals. I just show you the way the technicals are looking for specific charts, and if they look good, you can choose to enter buy, sell, whatever. Okay. So at the end of the day, you pull the trigger for yourself, and if you did on this one, you did really well. All right. Another one that I mentioned yesterday, let's see, I think it was Link. No, I don't think it was Link. Okay, well, I can't tell. I mean, there's a lot of charts in here. You can see TRX right here. If you do buy anywhere between 400 and 412, let's see if TRX played out. Okay, Tron currently at 360. Oh, okay, but this was actually put up way over here. All right, so we put up Tron right around here. You can see it went all the way to 470 or so. Okay, and then it came back down. All right, so again, if you get to take trades like this and you get to hit some of these targets, see, you can even see this on the chart. We had not hit 470 or 480. We said right here was a buy, right? And so this was the area that you were targeting right there. And price went up and then came back down, as you can see right there. Okay, so you can see that we put up a lot of trade setups, and you can decide on your own how the technicals look. And if you want to buy, you can buy. If you want to sell, you can sell. Okay. All right, folks. I think last thing. Oh yeah, this thing is really crucial too. This is the total crypto market cap. Again, you can also do technicals on this because this is all just the entire crypto bubble at work. All right, this is all human psychology of the entire crypto market. Very dangerous, but very useful too. Once you see the breakout of this area right here, this is the $170 billion area. You broke out straight through this resistance as well. Went all the way to 280 billion and then came back down, testing this 220 billion area of support, and now trying to break on through towards that 300 billion area. All right, so you can see that the next big resistance beyond this is probably this block right here. All right, that's currently around 430 or so billion dollars. Okay. This is going to be really interesting because if prices boom up all the way up here, I think this is going to put all of the crypto altcoins on the radar. I mean, especially the major ones like Ethereum and Litecoin and Bcash, EOS, you know, some of the big major ones that especially have the US dollar like on-ramp. Those are going to be the ones that will truly benefit, you know, very largely from this move. All right. Because that's basically double the market cap from here, right? So something to keep in mind, okay? I think that wraps it up, folks. As you can see, prices are moving pretty well, pretty healthily. So I do expect this area to be retested again, this 9,300 area. So if you are looking to buy, maybe you can, you know, put in a potential buy in this region right here currently, and then ride this up towards 9,300 or 9,600 or 10,000 that we spoke about, or that high of, you know, 11,600, 11,700. Okay, those are all probabilities that I'm waiting for. I'm still in my trades. I announce to my community every single day what I'm trading, how I'm going to cut the position, how I'm going to add on, what positions I'm holding for the medium term. And again, I'm never afraid to show my losers as well. I'm down negative 11% on Fetch, but I still do believe in my technicals, and I still do believe that Fetch will play out really well. Okay, let's see how Fetch is doing. I know it's not doing that great, but I still do believe that Fetch has, you know, a potential to break out potentially higher. Okay, so again, you know, we're not afraid to show our losers because we have plenty of winners. All right. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this analysis. Come join the Cryptosomniac community, and I'll see you guys here soon. All right? Cheers.